Welcome everybody to this morning. What a beautiful morning. I'm Barbara Bertucci calling from Florida. And I just wanted to share with you, I've been a wellness consultant for over 25 years. And we've got some great tips, techniques, and things that help us stay healthier and more vibrant every day. But underlining today, I want to just underline too, that the common denominator for a lot of illness out there is the sickness. So we've got obesity, weight gain, chronic pain, fatigue, headaches, just an amazing ensemble of things that might be able to be reduced with some of our natural technologies. Pretty amazing, pretty awesome. And today we're going to share with you about bone health. And you know, the bones are our structure, our skeletal structure. It's what holds us together. But really, our thigh bones, if you think of those guys, you think of just that, but they actually make our blood and our all the things in our body. So that's pretty amazing. So what I'm so excited to have Barbara Klein Robuck from California, San Diego area, out here this morning. I say out here with me. We're all connected this morning. I love Zoom. To share with us her successes with Nikken and the bone health. So take it away, Barbara.
Thank you so much. And hello, ladies. Good morning. And I'm so delighted to share with you my story. I have been a nurse for a few decades. We won't say how many, but 21 years ago, I was introduced to Nikken. Now, before that, I was a holistic nurse. And then when I learned about Nikken, it was this perfect segue, to share with all the people that I talk to as a holistic nurse. And my choir director introduced me and had me come to a meeting at her house. And I went, wow, okay. We had a guest from where was it? Utah, when Brody came down. I had been purchasing some of the products for a few years. Actually, I've started with Nikken 21 years ago, but never really did anything with any supplements. I got stuff for people. I wasn't really using this as any kind of a business. So when Brody came down and I learned about the bone health, wow, I said, you know what, as a nurse, I need to share with people what this is all about because, let's see, I have to say this diplomatically. I get very upset with Big Pharma sometimes because of all the side effects on the drugs. And, hey, I'm very grateful for my thyroid medicine. I need that. But there's so many things out there when you listen to the TV ads. And actually, I don't know if you've noticed, we're probably stuck more at home, and I've watched, confess, more TV lately than usual because we're, sheltering at home. But, 7 out of 22 of the commercials are new drugs that I've never heard of. But anyway, long story, I decided, okay, let's find out what's going on with my bones. Found out I had osteopenia. Well, what do? My actual
That's the one. That's the before osteoporosis is osteopenia.
Correct.
Just so in case people don't know.
And actually, that's an artificial diagnosis that Big Pharma created so they can get people on their drugs earlier. Oh. That's my take on it. That was never really, I never learned about that. So I learned that my sponsor had osteoporosis. And so she decided to get on the bone health and the bone pack. And 6 months later, she wanted to get another bone density test. Well, insurance didn't cover it. So she paid for it. And guess what? Her scores improved. And I don't know if you've seen how they rate this, but I'll show you a picture of that later. So I was so impressed with this. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I thought I would do this just long enough and share it just long enough to pay for my own product. But it just escalated from there. It was really fun. So a year later, we had our wonderful Dr. Howiak, who's no longer around in this area, but he used to come to our meetings and do the ankle bone density tests. And Okay, we had actual. You can see this. See the red and the yellow and the green.
Yes.
Um, so basically, I was on the borderline, on the yellow for osteoporosis and normal. And as you look further, actually 3 years later, I'm up in the green. I don't know if you can see that there. Here we go. So anyway, it's kind of hard to see on this,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
don't have a slide. But so I became a true believer, and I'll tell you that I have just kept going, and I share this a lot. Now, um, our healthcare systems, I call them our sick care systems, but 2 years ago, my Medicare segued and my doctor left. They signed me a new doctor, and I thought, okay. So I actually liked the new doctor, but then um, he told me we need another bone density. Well, I hadn't had one since 2015. And confess, I started having problems with my legs, so I had stopped going to exercise. I didn't go to the gym for over a year. And I thought, oh dear, I'm not going to be able to brag about Nikken bone health anymore. So, okay, I went last November and had the bone density. This was not just an ankle scan; it was the big deal, the whole thing. And guess what? I'm still up in the green and Dr. Howiak used to call me a healthy 30-year-old female, and I guess you can tell I'm not 30 years old anymore. So, um, this is my claim to fame. But in the process of that, Nikken has evolved into what we call a total wellness home program, and based on all when I talk to people, body, mind, spirit, family, society, finances, are all those in balance for you? And I'm still working on it. We all have to look at that. But when I realized all the other technologies, we actually moved into becoming a wellness home. And so basically, first thing, I talk to people about, you're 70% water, what kind of water? And the research actually now, when you drink those bottled waters, you're drinking plastic. So, the first thing I say to people, if you do nothing else, get some good water in your body. And then, no matter how old you are, no matter how balanced you feel, no matter how strong you feel, think about getting insoles for your shoes. And I don't need to know how many falls I have not had. You might, ladies, know about the term kinesiology, and I love to test people and show them that when they're standing on my insoles, I can't knock them over. Their balance is solid, rock solid. And when they get back off, they fall over. So, no, we don't let them fall. We catch them. so, um, between magnetic technology and also the we can't say far infrared, but bioceramic fiber technique, there are so many things. But my next claim to fame.
I'm gonna interrupt you really quickly and say that also the acid alkaline makes a big difference, because what if you are too high acidic, it pulls calcium out of the body. And so
Absolutely.
you want to make sure that you're more alkaline and more conscious of what your intake is, so it doesn't deplete you. There was a millennium I was talking to the other day, this young guy, and he said, yeah, I limit myself to, to 10. Oh, no, it was 10. He'd gotten up to 10 jolts, which are those big, strong drinks. He goes, I'm limiting myself to 3 a day. And I said, if you only knew what you were doing. So
Wow.
the
Yeah.
acid alkaline is very, very important. But back to you,
But
Barbara.
there's no disease that's not associated with acidity.
Mm.
And acidity is associated with our acid diet, of course, but it's too much sugar. That's the main enemy. Actually, sometimes too much meat, and so people don't realize what their intake is doing to their body. They think, oh, I only take 2 diet sodas a day. Oh, gee, So, anyway. Yes, thank you for that addition, Barb, because water and the acid-base balance is critical. So, The next thing that we invested in was the sleep system. And, that's a little more pricey than just buying a water bottle. And by the way, the water bottle, the sport bottle, I don't go anywhere without that. And people used to laugh at me, "You're going to take that into a fancy restaurant?" I said, "Have you ever smelled the water they pour in your glass?" So next time they go in, smell the chlorine. So what I do is ask for an empty glass and I pour my water into their glass. So I'm not actually doing that in the restaurant. I'll just use their glass, but it's my water. So, okay, so moving on, the other real key to health is getting the right sleep. And people don't realize this. And as a nurse, I do long-term care assessments for seniors, and it really just horrifies me. I say, "How many times do you have to get up during the night?" Because I know they get up at least once. "Oh, only 3 or 4 times." Well, you're never getting into REM sleep if you're doing that. So when we got our sleep system, and actually we've upgraded to the newest topper, oh, I was never a morning person. Never. I mean, wake up. But when we got our sleep system, it was like night and day. I wake up and I am so ready to start the day. And I have a lady that I loan my sleep system to, and this is interesting research because she shared it. I don't have the picture here, but she had one of those Fitbit watches that told her how many times she woke up. And she was waking up, and she's a lot younger than I am, but waking up 4 to 5 times a night and exhausted during the day, obviously, because she's never gotten her quality sleep. Well, I loaned her my sleep loaner system, and she sent me the picture of it went from 4 to 5 times a day to once. And it was just, and she said, "I got to buy this." So we're waiting for them to become more available. Then
Right,
another
right.
lady, yeah, another lady borrowed it from her, and she said, "I can't believe how better I felt." So yeah, when people get that experience, um, if you don't have the experience of how good it can feel, you don't know. And then when you realize that, oh my gosh, I can make my life better, there's no stopping us. So
That's
having
right.
a
You
wellness
you were
home,
great. You were great when we traveled. You had your comforter, we had the water bottle, we had all our little goodies with us to so that
right,
we could get that night's sleep. Yeah,
right, right.
awesome.
And I know that, well, right now we can't travel, but early safely, I'm a little reluctant to think about getting on a plane. And I was supposed to have my 41st trip with my girlfriend, and we spend a week. We met in grammar school, and every year we get together. Uh-uh, not
Well, now
not
you
just
get to do
yet.
it by Zoom, I guess, until we figure that out. Let
Yeah,
me go ahead and
right,
finish underlining the bone really quickly because I think that is important. And
right.
I
Well,
will,
I know that my latest bone density is way up there, and what I know is that it really actually impacts the rest of your body. It's not just about stopping something called osteoporosis. So just knowing that, and having the right calcium too, because our calcium segues with our BDZ, and the research. If you really are interested, lady, those three research products are incredible. You can delve into that if you're a real scientist, or you can just believe us. It really does work. Yeah. So I will never stop taking that, Barb.
oh, thank you, Barbara. All right, so here we go. Kinsen Bone Health Pack. This is what we've been talking about. Did you know 1 in 3 women over 50 have bone fractures? 1 in 5 men over 50. I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
osteoporosis is estimated to affect 200 million people globally. And 55% of the people over 50 are at increased risk of fracture due to bone mass. So they don't fall and break their bone, they actually break their bone and then fall. So that's something to
Right.
underline. The importance of calcium, I just wanted to underline this too, and I started saying that with the acid alkaline, is that this calcium is there so that we can help absorb it into our body. The BDZ helps us absorb it, and there's actually a fast acting calcium and a slower acting calcium. That's my lay
Right.
way of saying it. And
Mhm.
we've combined them both together. So we've partnered it so that you can then get it into the bones, transport, make what you need to make out of the bones, and then reuse for our own use. Because if calcium's not getting there, it defeats the whole purpose. And for those of you that, and it's made with 3 key blend ingredients, the BDZ, Aquamin, Minoq7, and Para-Actin. And I just want to underline that because there's other things out there, and this is one, and I'll go over them later another time. But Boswellia serrata is an Indian frankincense, and it's practiced in the Ayurvedic medicine, and it's traditionally used to reduce pain, but also osteoarthritis and improve mobility by reducing inflammation. So those are some key facts about this herb, not necessarily a fact that we can say about our product because we don't make any medical claims and such, but it's an amazing thing and it's unique to the BDZ. So the bone health stimulates bone growth, increase bone mass and strength, helps increase bone mineral density, reduce the risk of osteoporosis and the predecessor osteopenia that we just learned more about, increase flexibility, mobility, help support cartilage function, and any skeletal muscular strength. Now, I had somebody the other day talking about bone on bone and yada yada, and yes, it's quite painful and quite tremendous, but you never know if getting on something like this is something that they might need, or they might need a calcium blend that really supports them. So this is the overall bone health. So a house, electrical wiring, plumbing, keeping things humming along. I'll give you a sec. Keeping the house from falling down. I love that. But also it's the structure for the heart, the electrical system, and also the circulatory system, digestive system is the plumbing and such. So all of this is dependent upon the bone and the blood mass that the bone produces, in the marrow. So here we are, Kinzen Vital Balance and the BDZ. And here's the pack that we have. And anytime you see the word pack, you're going to save some money, but you'll save a little bit more on auto ship. And let me go back. I think Barbara wanted to add something else. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about Boswellia. This has been around for thousands of years, and actually it's frankincense. And I don't know what your spiritual source of support is, but if you remember what the 3 magi brought to Bethlehem, it was frankincense, gold, and myrrh. And I'm pretty convinced the gold was actually turmeric, because they weren't carrying gold around. I'm really amazed because turmeric is yellow, and I think that's what they called it. But yeah, this has been a valuable herb for over 2,000 years. So when I learned that, I thought, wow, this is wow, love it.
Well, Barbara, thank you for getting up this morning. It's been a pleasure. Get with the person that invited you to watch this video because it's amazing. And Nikken has got some amazing windows and educational things going on that you'll always learn from us or other people, actually. And become a customer. All you need is your name, address, phone number, and email with the person that invited you. It's a free customer account. It helps them, helps you link to them and them to you. So thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you coming out today and watching this.
Thank you.
Wait a second.